neared its working depth minutes ago. He'd exited the floor hatch, taken a short ride on the guideway beneath it, then jumped clear and dropped toward the seabed. Now he could no longer see its egg-shaped contours. He was descending through a pitch-black void with only the faint, smeary glow of Beebe's exterior lights above and the blue ghosts flitting around him. Bursts of luminescence emitted by various deep-sea creatures. They were like living fireworks, sparking and curling and braiding out in every direction. They had no pattern, no predictability. Without visual landmarks for reference, it was impossible to even guess their distance from him. The blue ghosts could be 10 feet away or 100 or 1,000. They were hypnotic, beautiful, and very dangerous if he let them become distractions. He shot a quick glance down at the bottom. He had 2 head mounts, a high-intensity LED underwater lamp on one side of his hat, and a digital video camera on the other. Both were powered by his umbilical lines and would run without interruption throughout the dive. The Digicam feed was streaming up to Rahl and the support crew on the stalwart's deck, so they could inspect the site in real time. Below Zach, clear in the light beaming from his helmet, was the 30-foot-wide trench Stalwart's sea tractor had recently plowed into the sea bottom. The trench had yet to be backfilled by the tide, leaving its excavated center, where the cable was buried, lower than its margins. "I'm right above the cable trench," he said. "Eyes wide open." He wasn't expecting any problems. The site had been chosen for its geological stability. There were no underwater canyons, no slopes, no reefs or fault lines, just mud and gravel. The terrain, a flat, level expanse running off toward the Spratly Islands, China's dangerous ground. So named because that was where the aquatic terrain got rough. Zach descended a little further. His augmented reality HUD said he was at exactly 273 meters, almost 900 feet, which put him just west of the exposed cable connection and about a mile upstream from the landing station at Palawan. After a few moments, his boots touched down beside the trench. He hopped across the bottom, following its southern edge. His helmet's AR was a more sophisticated version of the dashcam system in his car, but not much. Basically, it served the same purpose, overlaying his video input with arrows, colored lines, and data readouts. It would guide him to the juncture he wanted to inspect and sound an alert once he reached it. Zach was about 10 yards along when he heard the beep. He hadn't really needed it. The stalwart had installed a multiplexer here 2 weeks back, ahead of laying several branching lines of cable, the first of which was already buried in its own trench. He could see where it forked eastward from the splice, stringing out to its own endpoint. He looked down at the shallow furrow defining the original cable's path toward shore. "Odd," he said over his radio. "Everyone getting the vid stream?" "Roger." That came from Murph. "Hang on a second. I'm going over your coordinates." "You must be in the right place," Rahl said. "You see the cable sticking up out of the bottom." Zach did not reply. His dive partner was right on both counts. This was the only cable nexus for miles around, and the positioning system for deep ocean navigation, Poseidon, was as dependable as terrestrial GPS. There was no doubt in his mind he was on point. But what confused him was that he didn't see anything at all. At least, nothing unusual. He waited. Maybe there was a mistake, but he didn't see how it was possible. "Zach?" Murph again. "I hear you. Your location positively checks out." Which came as no surprise, and which also confused the hell out of him. "I can scoop out the sediment," he said. "Inspect the cables and SDM to see if anything's funny." "Sounds like an idea," Murph said. "Give me a minute. Freed's on his way to control." Freed was Bill Friedlander, the dive team's project manager on the Stalwart. Calling him in was SOP. Everything had to be logged and subject to approvals. They would need his green light before digging up a segment of line. Zach waited. Blue ghosts spun and danced around him like fireflies. No one really knew why so many organisms down here emitted a glow. He'd heard they used it to confuse their prey or stun them, but he'd also heard that